So I bet you do not know the story of this African prince who became one of the most inspiring missionaries of the 1800s. This is the story of Samuel Morris. So his real name is Prince Kaboo of Liberia, and his childhood was pretty brutal. When Kaboo was just a teenager, a rival tribe captured him. They tortured him, they starved him, and every single day he was just waiting to die. Then something unbelievable happens in the middle of all of this. A light appears in his prison cell, and a voice out of nowhere tells him to escape. So Prince Kaboo breaks free, flees into the jungle, and somehow, miraculously, he survives. Through his journey, he makes his way to a missionary outpost, and it is at this missionary outpost that he hears about Jesus for the first time. And he realizes, wait, that light that I saw in the prison that told me to escape, that was Jesus. Kaboo is then baptized and then takes on the name Samuel Morris. And in that moment, he decides that his whole life is going to be dedicated to telling people about Jesus. And listen, he does not do it quietly. He begins to share his testimony with anybody and everybody who will listen. People who encountered him said that when he prayed, they could feel something shift. Even missionaries whose hearts had become hardened were so enamored by this guy's faith. But Samuel wants more. He wants to learn about the Holy Spirit. So he gets on a ship to America. Remember, this is the late 1800s. A young African man traveling to America by choice was very unheard of. But Samuel does not care. He says God told him to go. And on this voyage, the crew starts mocking him. But after a few weeks, the entire ship is transformed. These skeptic sailors are starting to ask him to pray for them. And by the time that they dock in New York, he's basically like their pastor. When Samuel arrives in America, he connects himself to a Bible college there. And again, everyone who meets him says his presence felt like walking into the book of Acts. Unfortunately, Samuel's life was cut short just at the age of 20 when he catches pneumonia and dies from it. But even in his short life, Samuel Morris left a legacy so strong that missionaries carried his story back to Africa and inspired thousands of more people. One man, barely an adult, basically a teenager, was able to transform so many people's lives because of the radical encounter he had with the Lord. Hi, my name is Wheela, and I love sharing stories of people in church history that the Lord used to transform their world or the world at large. Follow for more.